Good morning, dear students. Now we see Standard 9 Science, Unit 9 Universe. In the earliest days, before the invention of astronomical instruments, people thought that Earth is the center of all the objects in the space. This was known as geocentric model held by Greek astronomer Ptolemy, Indian astronomer Aryabhatta, and many astronomers around the world. Later, Polish astronomer Nicolaus Copernicus proposed the heliocentric model, with Sun at the center of the solar system. Invention of telescope in the Netherlands in 1608 created a revolution in astronomy. In this lesson, we will study about the building blocks of universe, Kepler's law of motion, time period of satellites and international space stations. Now we will know about the building blocks of the universe. The basic constituent of the universe is luminous matter. Galaxies, which are really a collection of billions of stars. The universe contains everything that exists, including the earth, planets, stars, space, and galaxies. This includes all matter, energy, and even time. No one knows how big the universe is. It could be infinitely large. Scientists, however, measure the size of the universe by what they can see. This is called observable universe. The observable universe is around 93 billion light years. One of the interesting things about the universe is that it is currently expanding. It is growing larger and larger all the time. Not only it is growing larger, but the edge of the universe is expanding at faster and faster rate. However, most of the universe, what we think of as empty space, all the atoms together only make up around 4% of the universe. The majority of the universe consists of something scientists call dark matter and dark energy. Now we will know about the age of the universe. Scientists think that the universe began with the start of massive explosion called Big Bang. According to Big Bang theory, all the matter in the universe was concentrated in a single point of hard dense matter. About 13.7 billion years ago, an explosion occurred and all the matter were ejected in all directions in the form of galaxies. Nearly all of the matter in the universe that we understand is made of hydrogen and helium, the simplest elements created in the Big Bang. The rest, including the oxygen, the carbon, calcium, and iron, and silicon, are formed in the cores of stars. The gravity that holds these stars together generally keeps these elements deep inside their interiors. When these stars explode, these fundamental building blocks of planetary system are liberated throughout the universe. Now we will know about the galaxy. Immediately after the Big Bang, clouds of gases began to compress under gravity to form building blocks of galaxies. A galaxy is a massive collection of stars, dust, and billions of stars and their solar systems. Scientists believe that there are 100 billion galaxies in the observable universe. Galaxies are also in different shapes depending on their appearance. Galaxies are classified as spiral, elliptical, or irregular. Galaxies occur alone or in pairs, but they are more often parts of groups, clusters, and superclusters. Galaxies in such groups often interact and even merge together. Our sun and all the planets in the solar system are in the Milky Way galaxy. There are many galaxies beside our Milky Way. Andromeda galaxy is our closest neighboring galaxy. The Milky Way galaxy is spiral in shape. It is called Milky Way because it appears as like milky band of light in the sky. It is made up of approximately 100 billion stars and its diameter is 1 lakh light years. Our solar system is 25,000 light years away from the center of our galaxy. Just as the Earth goes around the Sun goes around the center of the galaxy, and it makes 250 million years to do that. Now we will know about the star. Stars are the fundamental building blocks of galaxies. Stars were formed when the galaxies were formed during the Big Bang. Stars produces heat, light, ultraviolet X-rays, and other some forms of radiation. They are largely composed of gas and plasma. Stars are built by hydrogen gases. Hydrogen atoms fuse together form helium atoms, and in the process they produce large amount of heat. In a dark night, we can see nearly 30,000 stars in the naked eye. We don't know how many stars exist. Our universe contains more than 100 billion galaxies, and each of those galaxies may have more than 100 billion stars. A group of stars forms an imaginary outline or meaningful pattern on the space. They represent an animal, mythological person or creatures, a god or an object. This group of stars are called constellations. People in different cultures and countries adopted their own set of constellations outline. There are 88 formally accepted constellations: Aries, Gemini, Leo, Origins, Scorpius, and Cassiopeia are some of the constellations. Now we will know about the solar system. Sun and the celestial bodies which revolve around it form a solar system. It consists of large number of bodies such as planets, comets, asteroids, and meteors. The gravitational force of attraction between the sun and these objects keep them revolving around it. Now we know about the sun. The sun is a medium-sized star, a very fiery spinning ball of hot gases. 3/4 of the sun has hydrogen gas and 1/4 has helium gas. It is over a million times as big as Earth. Hydrogen atoms combine or fuse together to form helium under enormous pressure. This process, called nuclear fusion, releases enormous amount of energy as light and heat. It is this energy which makes the sun shine and provide heat. Sun is situated at the center of the solar system. The strong gravitational field casts other solar matter, mainly planets, asteroids, comets, meteorites, and other debris, to orbit around it. Sun is believed to be more than 4.6 billion years ago. Now we will know about the formation of Sun. At the time of Big Bang, hydrogen gas condensed to form huge clouds which later concentrated and formed numerous galaxies. Some of the hydrogen gases was left free and started floating around our galaxy. With time, due to some changes, this free-floating hydrogen gas concentrated and paved way for the formation of Sun and the solar system. Gradually, the Sun and the solar system turned into a slowly spinning molecular cloud composed of hydrogen and helium along with dust. The cloud started to undergo the process of compression as a result of its own gravity. Its excessive and high-speed spinning ultimately resulted in its flattening into a giant disk. Now we know about the planets. The planet revolve around the sun along a definite curved path which is called orbit. It is elliptical. The time taken by a planet complete one revolution is called a period of revolution. Now we know about the planets are spaced unevenly. The first 4 planets are relatively close together and close to the sun. They form the inner solar system. Farther from the sun is the outer solar system, where the planets are much more spread out. Thus, the distance between Saturn and the Uranus is much greater than the distance between the Earth and the Mars. Now we know about the Mercury. Mercury is the rocky planet nearest to the Sun. It is very hot during day but very cold at night. Mercury can be easily observed through telescope the naked eye since it is very faint and small. It always appears in eastern horizon or western horizon of the sky. Venus is a special planet from the Sun, almost the same size as the Earth. It is the hottest planet in our solar system. After our moon, it is the brightest heavenly body in our night sky. This planet spins in the opposite direction to all other planets. So unlike the Earth, the sun rises in the west and sets in the east. Venus can be seen clearly through naked eye. It always appears in the horizon of the eastern or western sky. Earth. The Earth, where we live, is only planet in the solar system which supports life. Due to its right distance from the sun, it has the right temperature, the presence of water, and a suitable temperate atmosphere, and a blanket of ozone. All these have made constitution of life possible on the earth. From space, the earth appears bluish green due to the reflection of light, water, and land as on its surface. Now we know about Mars. The first planet outside the orbit of Earth is Mars. It appears slightly reddish and therefore it also called the red planet. It has two small natural satellites. Next one is the Jupiter. Jupiter is called giant planet. It is the largest of the all planet. It has 3 rings and 65 moons. Its moon Gandhi is the largest moon in our solar system. Saturn, known for its bright shiny ring, Saturn appears yellowish in color. It is the second biggest and the giant gas planet in our solar system. At least 60 moons are present, the largest being Titan. Titan is the only moon in the solar system with the clouds. Having least density of all, this planet is so light. Next one is the Uranus. Uranus is a cold gas giant and it can be seen only with the help of large telescope. It has a greatly tilted axis of rotation. As a result, in its orbital motion, it appears to roll on its side. Due to its peculiar tilt, it has the long summers and winters, each lasting for 2 years. Last one is Neptune. It appears greenish in color. It is the 8th planet from the Sun and is the windiest planet. Every 248 years, Pluto crosses its orbit. The situation continues for 20 years. It has 30 moons. Now we know about the asteroids. There is a large gap in between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter. This gap is occupied by a broad belt containing about a half of a million pieces of rocks that were left over when the planets were formed and now revolve around the Sun. These are called asteroids. The biggest asteroid is Ceres, 946 km across. Next one is the comets. Comets are lumps of dust and ice that revolve around the Sun in highly elliptical orbit. Their period of revolution is very long. When approaching the Sun, a comet vaporizes and forms a head and tail. Some of the biggest comets ever seen had tails 160 million kilometers long. Next one is the meteors and meteorites. Meteors are small pieces of rock scattered throughout the solar system. Traveling with a high speed, these small pieces come closer to the Earth's atmosphere and are attached by gravitational force of Earth. Most of them are burnt up by the heat generated due to the friction of the Earth's atmosphere. They are called meteors. Some of the bigger meteors may not be burned completely and they fall on the surface of Earth. These are called meteorites. Now we will know about the satellite. A body moving in an orbit around the planet is known as satellite. In order to distinguish them from the man-made satellite, they are called natural satellites or moons. Satellites of Earth is called moon. We can see Earth's satellite moon because it reflects the sun of light of sun. Now we know about the orbital velocity. We saw that there are natural satellites moving around the planet. There will be gravitational force between the planet and satellites. Nowadays, many artificial satellites are launched into the Earth's orbit. The first artificial satellite Sputnik was launched in 1956. India launched its first satellite Aryabhatta on April 19, 1975. Artificial satellites are made to revolve in orbit at a height of u due to air in is negligible. The satellite is carried by a rocket to the desired height and released horizontally with the height velocity so that it remains moving in a nearly circular orbit. Orbital velocity can be calculated using the formula V equal to square root of gm divided by r plus h. Here g is the gravitational constant, m is the mass of the earth, r is the radius of the earth, I is the height of the satellite from the surface of the earth. Now we will know about the Kepler's law. Kepler efforts to explain the understanding underlying reasons for such mentions are no longer accepted. Nonetheless, the actual laws themselves are still considered an accurate description of the motion of any planet and any satellite. Kepler's three laws of planetary motion can be described below. The first law, that is the law of ellipses. All planets revolve around the sun in elliptical orbits with the sun at one of their foci. The second law, that is the law of equal areas. The line connecting the planet and the sun covers equal areas in equal intervals of time. The third law is the law of harmonies. The square of time period of revolution of a planet around the sun is directly proportional to the cube of the distance between the sun and the planets. Now we will know about the International Space Station. ISS is the large spacecraft which can house astronauts. It goes around in low Earth orbit at approximately 400 km distance. It is also a science laboratory that its very first part was placed in orbit in 1998 and its core construction was completed by 2011. It is the largest man-made object in space which can also be seen from the Earth through the naked eye. The first human crew went to the ISS in 2000. Ever since that, it has never been unoccupied by humans. At any given instant, the least 6 humans will be present in the ISS. According to the current plan, ISS will be operated until 2024 with a possible extension until 2028. After that, it could be deorbited or recycled for the future space stations. Now we know the benefits of ISS. First one is the supporting water purification efforts. Using the technology developed for the ISS, areas having water scarcity can gain access to advanced water filtration and purification systems. the water recovery system, and the oxygen generation system developed for the ISS have already saved a village in Iraq from being deserted due to the lack of clean water. And the next one is the eye tracking technology. The eye tracking device built for a microgravity experiment has proved ideal to be used in many laser surgeries. Also, tracking technology is helping disabled people with limited movement and speech. For example, a kid who has severe disability in body movement can use his eye movements alone and do routine tasks and lead an independent life. And the last one is the robotic arms and surgeries. Robotic arm developed for research in the ISS are providing significant help to the surgeon in resolving inoperable tumors and taking biopsies with great accuracies. Its inventors say that a robot could take biopsies with remarkable precision and consistency. Apart from the above mentioned applications, there are many other in which the researchers that take place in the ISS are helpful. They are development of improved vaccines, breast cancer detection and treatment, ultrasound machine for remote regions. And the last one is ISS and international cooperation. As great as the ISS scientific achievements are, no less in accomplishment is the international cooperation which resulted in the construction of ISS. An international collaboration of 5 different space agencies of 16th centuries provide, maintains and operates the ISS. They are NASA, Roscosmos, ESA, JAXA and CSA. Belgium, Brazil, Denmark, France, Germany, Italy, Holland, Norway, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland and UK are also part of the consortium. Thank you, students.